Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you read by the title, I will be talking about the really popular show Euphoria. I just watched it today and I'm very late, like 2 years late. Um and yeah, um and I have some opinions, and I literally had to stop like my whole plans for today just to make this video because of how messy and insane this show is. So yeah, um, so let's go. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you like hilarious and in-depth commentary on music and entertainment. Click that subscribe button and make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, where you find some cool, awesome stuff on there. Also, I'll be doing my makeup as I talk about Euphoria. I'm trying to dabble in other things, and I have a bunch of makeup that I haven't really used in a while until recently, so let's see where this goes. So I'm a Leo moon and an Aries rising, so I will be looking at myself a lot in the mirror. So, don't mind me. Okay. So, a little backstory before I start. I've, always known about Euphoria, ever since, like, it came out, and also a lot of my friends watched it, and they talked about how it was a really good show. It was shot like beautifully, but at the same time it's really intense for a show about high schoolers, and there's a lot of scenes that can be very disturbing and everything. I don't know, I didn't really feel comfortable watching it. And also I did check out IMDb, the parents guide, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should wait to see what happens. Maybe I shouldn't start it. Maybe I should wait to see what happens. I don't know. I just didn't feel really comfortable looking at it. You know what I mean? So, I kind of waited it out to see what people think. And I also watched an Amanda BB's video on it, immediately when she posted it. Here's her channel. I'll pop it up right here. And she really talked in depth about it, and I thought that she really she really described it the way how my friends described it. She didn't hold back when it came to her review on it, and I was just kind of I still after hearing all of that at the same time, I was like, maybe I shouldn't watch it. So yesterday, since we're still in the panini press, I was like, all right, I have there's literally nothing else for me to watch. So I was like, okay, so maybe I will try this show out. Maybe it's time, maybe it's time. I didn't know that, as of the airing of this video, I didn't know that the new season was coming out literally tomorrow. So I was like, I didn't know that. So now finding that out after watching all episodes, now I'm like, oh wow, so I'm gonna have to deal with this chaos again. But yes, I have a lot of thoughts, so yeah, let's get into it now. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this by episode, and I know each episode is based on each character pretty much, so yeah, we'll do that. So the first episode, we see like the story of Rue and you know, her being diagnosed with all these you know, OCD. Ooh, that's not good. OCD, and you know, most, and they said like bipolar disorder, you know, etc. And they can't tell, like when she's so young, so we have to put her on medication. So she was on like a lot of pills when she was like 7-8 years old, and that's kind of how it started for her. So, you know, they show like her basically her whole childhood, and then we see like when she was with her dad and dealing with her dad having cancer and his death. That was really sad to see. Like, you know, it just explains like the whole dynamic of Rue going through what she's going through and why she keeps you know, going on, coming off drugs, going on drugs, coming off drugs, in that vicious cycle. So you know, yeah, that was really sad to see. And then, you know, she takes her first like Oxycontin pill or so when her dad like falls asleep that one day, and that's like when it just all started for her, when she was 13 years old. And yeah, that was really hard to see, like a literal child just, you know, trying drugs for the first time, and you know, like that type of drug for the first time. Like, that was hard to see, to be honest. You know, so, you know, and then the other hard thing to see was the scene where the teacher forces her to, like, picks her first, knowing that she went to rehab. Like, I know you know she went, and I know you know she went to rehab. Like, please, everybody was talking about it. Like, you knew that she went to rehab, and you still like have her get up there and like have her force her to talk for 5 minutes about her summer, and you knew she was in rehab. She overdosed and went to rehab. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you knew what happened in her summer. Like, you knew what happened. Anyway, so she, you know, she's like basically just remembering when her sister found her, Gia, when she overdosed, and you know, that was like, you know, that, I think the whole setup of that, like showing everything so raw of her being on the ground, and like everything was a mess, you know, very messy. It was just really bad. Like, seeing that, like having Gia see that, and you know, she thought she died, and it was just bad. She was in a coma, a whole coma. It was so bad. And you know, I think that, you know, like I just think that it's just hard for me to wrap my head around that, like, that happened to a 16-year-old character. And I will talk about, you know, like minors doing all these things like a lot in this video. So yeah, it's just so much going on that this like made me uncomfortable and disturbed me, that I will talk about. So yeah. Oh gosh, I you know, we see Fez, another character named Fez, like he's basically Rue's drug dealer. I actually kind of like him as a character. And I also think like the actor, he's like really, really attractive. That scene where, you know, he like was like, I can't sell you more drugs, sorry. Like, yeah, you know, that kind of needed to happen. That needed to happen. Even though, you know, of course, the last episode, she does another line again. But I mean, I think I think, you know, he was like, nah, like, I can't have this girl die on my watch. And he get, you know, I think that, you know, with Fez, like, in the beginning of the series, like, there were a lot of good, like, scenarios with him and, like, his character. The last episode kind of scared me, though, where he broke into the guy's house. You know, given, like, all that happened prior, you know, don't know what's gonna happen next. You know, episode 1 also showed Jules meeting Nate's, what we learned to be Nate's dad at the hotel. You know, for obvious reasons, that was disturbing and made me uncomfortable for me too. You know, the obvious, she's a minor. Yeah, like, I don't know what else to say to that. Like, that was, I already knew this happened, you know, like with my friends telling me that it happened and then looking it up in IMDb, but like, you know, just seeing that like immediately, like in the first episode was just like, wow, like, okay, all right. Like, as I'm watching these episodes, I'm like, wow, like, I really thought, like, 13 Reasons Why was bad. Like, I really thought, like, Skins was, like, graphic, but this, too. You see Nate as 11 years old, finding his dad's collection, and, yeah, I think the part that really made me uneasy was the fact that, I mean, it's probably editing, I don't know, the fact that, like, you're literally seeing 11-year-old Nate like watching it, and, like, you know, it's just like, like, I just wish they could have like, they didn't have to. I just feel like the crew people, the producers, whoever, like, didn't have to film all that. But that's just me, you know. That's just me. Like, you know, I just wish I didn't see that, you know. You know what I mean? I just wish I never saw that. And, like, you know, you just see how, like, Nate deals with that, and, you know, he like puts his aggression and his frustration in fitness and football. So, you know, obviously the man is traumatized, but either way, he scares me. He's one of the only characters that really, really terrify me. Like every time I saw him, like, sneak into that man's house, we'll get to that, sneak into that man's house, put hands and feet on Maddie, like, it's like, like, one thing about Jacob Elordi is that he really, like, knows how to play the villain. Like, he really knows how to do it. Like, from Kissing Booth to this, like, he really scared me through every episode. I was terrified. I was scared. You know, at the party, like, you know this already. Maddie tries to get Nate jealous, per usual. And, you know, she like grabs some random guy and does the business in the pool. And then, you know, Nate, like, the next, like, he's stalking this man. Like, he's stalking this Tyler. And, you know, he comes to find out, you know, Tyler is a 22-year-old college student, and he did the stuff with a minor. So Nate you know, decides to pretty much stalk him, sneak in his house, and beat him. Like he beat him. That really, like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, I felt like he just did that. And like, I felt like if it wasn't Maddie, like, and that happened and he witnessed it, he wouldn't care if he knew that the girl or whoever was a minor or not. He wouldn't care. He just, in my opinion, from what I see with, you know, with how he moves in the show, like, he wouldn't care. Like, he didn't care. He just used that because he was jealous. Simple. I don't think he would care. Of course, Tyler, you know, should have, like, checked to see if she was an adult. The reason why Nate was there and beating him wasn't because she's a minor. Like, that, he was jealous. Like, I promise you, he didn't care. He doesn't care about that. He's jealous that, you know, that happened and used that as an excuse to beat him. Simple. He don't care. Okay, yeah, so, you know, this is Nate's episode, and we just see, like how his really horrible childhood, like, leads him to nothing but just him being aggressive, being just the literal manipulative. I'm not a psychologist, but he has to be at least narcissistic. Like, at least. Like, that, hands and feet, on Maddie, like, please. Like, that, sociopathic something, because that, Episode 3, I believe, it focuses on Kat. Kat's storyline, like, Kat's storyline to me is one of the most disturbing I've ever seen, honestly. That storyline, like, made me so uncomfortable. Like, everything just from the second she was on camera to the last, like, it was just bad from the beginning. Like, you know, I personally do like Kat, like, as a character. Like, she seems like a, like, I want her to win. I want her to do better. I want her, I mean, is she a perfect character? No. But it's like, you want to root for her, like, pretty much. You know, obviously, like, she's dealing with, like, being, like, basically the duff of the friend group. Like, you know, society's version of, I'm not calling her, like, ugly. She's gorgeous, but I'm not calling her that. But obviously, like, they casted her as the duff, basically, of her other friends. You know, they treated her like that. Like, her main purpose of being in that friendship was to be the person that, like, all those girls, like, put all their, you know, all their baggage on. Like, they didn't see her as like her own person. They just saw her as, like, this, like, I feel like they just kind of saw her as, like, her purpose is kind of to serve us, like, the way they kind of treated her. And they were so obsessed with her V card, like, oh my gosh, so obsessed. And it's like, you know, I just hate, like, I just hate seeing, I mean, it does happen in real life. Like, there's so many girls who go through that with their friends in high school or whatever age group. Like it happens all the time. They just like be so obsessed with people's lives like that. It's like boundaries, like please, boundaries, but you know. so you know, they're at the party and Maddie's in this room with those disgusting, pathetic twin boys. Ugh. They're just, oh gosh. They like really irritated me throughout this series. They're just so gross. So gross. And then they're at the party, and then you see like this random white man, like just you know, just talking, and he's just with this creepy face, and he's just like you know, asking all these like questions, and it's like, take off your shirt and da da da. And then, you know, of course the twins have something to say, and it's just and then we find out, you know, she loses like her V card, and you know, she immediately tells her friends, of course, because you know, like that's probably, she didn't want, like Rue kind of said in the narration, like she just wanted it to not be a thing anymore. Yeah. And it got shared and passed around in the school. Like, will we ever know like any peace in the show? No. Well, you know, it's my fault. Like I knew that this was gonna happen, but I still watched it anyway. Disturbing, like, again, why? Yeah. You know, she like kind of like tells one of the twins, like, yo, like, I'm gonna go to the police, da da da, like, if you don't help me out, you know, like, she squashed it right away, this, that, and the third. And then this is the part that really, like, ooh. So, like, Kat, you know, saw that her tape got a lot of views, and she was like, oh, like, maybe I can, like, make something out of this. Mind you, she's 16 years old, and she just decides that she's gonna start camming. 16, camming. Okay. You know, the first camming experience she has is with this, like, immediately when they meet on camera, like, all you see is just like schlong and hair, and it's just like this whole thing like lasts for like a good like 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm just sitting here like are you really doing this? Like, are we really doing this? Like, okay. So yeah, like, you know, she's like, okay, I'm gonna like degrade these men for money. You know, it kind of like builds into like like girl boss, like this type of like I'm running these men, like I'm running them from running them out their money, like just to degrade them. And they kind of make it like this like trope of like, oh, like Maddie's finding her confidence like as like this like girl boss through like camming, and also like doing it with grown men, with a grown man from that clothing store. Yeah, that wasn't cute at all. Yeah, that was not cute at all. So I really do like Ethan. I think that he would be really good for Kat. I think like their whole storyline was cute. Like I think he's really sweet. Like I really like him. I do. You know, like with the carnival thing, she like left him, and you know, I felt really bad like for him throughout this whole series, because like Kat just kind of like kept hurting his feelings like every other episode. And then like at the party, she was just like, "Oh, you know, I don't like do virgins." It just made him feel bad, and that specifically disturbed me. Like that, like, you know, like I just don't know. Uh, I've never heard of a 16-year-old doing that. You know, I mean, I came out of college. I graduated high school in like 2015, so I just, you know, I don't know what's going on right now in the world, teenagers, like I don't know, but why would you make a storyline like that? That's all I want to know. And I get like there were some parts that they showed that, you know, like, oh no, it's like not all it's cracked out to be. Like, of course it's like creepy and gross. And she had that scene where the creepy guy didn't show himself in the camera and was like telling her to dress. But it's just like, still, you guys, like, the writers really thought they ate with that one. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. So Jules is the next episode. We see her like her mom takes her to the psych ward, you know, because like she's obviously a trans girl, and her mom, disgusting, like just decides to just take her to the psych ward. Like that was very scary to see. um you know, like her realizing like what was going on in the tour, and then like her mom just walks away when she's banging on a door, like, get me out of here. Like that was hard to watch. um and I'm really glad that her dad like said, all right, like I'm gonna like be with you every step of the way, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna, you know, help you transition. You know, she went to the doctor, she got her hormones, and yeah, like with that storyline, I'm glad, you know, she is doing well with that with her dad. I'm glad that there was a silver lining to that. So you know, with also with Jill's storyline, like, you know, she's like talking to this guy. Comes to find out that it's, of course, Nate trying to blackmail her. And like when it came to like the blackmail, like Nate really thought he ate that whole speech he made at the lake. Like, oh, like you get trouble with CP and da 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 da. Like Tyler's account doesn't exist. Like, oh my god, like seriously, like really. And then he's like, oh, like it was really the projection for me. He was like, oh, you're so broken inside and da 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 da. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Are you serious? Okay. And everything about that whole storyline was just like I mean, obviously you know this, but Jules is a victim. Like, your dad's disgusting. But okay. Um so um And I really like Jules as a character. Like, I think that she's gorgeous. I think that she has one of the best styles on the show. I love the makeup. I love the outfits. I love, you know, the colors, the pink, the purple. I love her whole wardrobe, personally. You know, I like it a lot. She's so cute, you know, like with her little book bag, walking around. Like, she's so cute. Like, I love her. I like her personality. I don't really have a problem with, you know, like her as a person. Like, I don't think there's really anything wrong with her character. She just, like, you know, is just going through it. The next episode, we have Maddie and her storyline. So the thing, oh no, my highlight broke and I didn't even know it. Wow, okay. So the thing with Maddie is that, you know, again, like everyone else, like a lot of people, like, she had a hard childhood. You know, she did the pageantry, like that was her thing. And you know, her father doesn't do anything. You know, her mom is just, you know, like doing everything. And yeah, you know, I think that the way they the way they brought out like how she, you know, first of all, I think another disturbing thing was that whole scene where I think this was like in the second episode, but I think they reintroduced it again, like when she was like in front of Nate, like, and then he was like, oh, are you like have you ever done the deed before? And she's like, no. And the way that was like filmed was weird to me, you know. And then also like the whole thing with like Nate like likes girls with small noses and not hairy, and like, ill, like, really, that's gross to put that in there, in my opinion. But yeah, yeah, I mean, you know, it shows that Nate is just, you know, like, even like just gross. Like, I mean, we knew that, but, and he just sees her as like possession, but we knew that. But back to Maddie and her childhood. Like, the fact that she, you know, was on vacation, and then all of a sudden like this 40-year-old man says, hey, like, you want to do something? And that's how she like loses it, you know, her V card. And they just casually put it in there, like it's cute, you know what I mean? I think that's the thing that like kind of like annoys me about this show. Like, not like, this just makes me so like, just makes me feel very like uncomfortable, is the fact that they just randomly put like scenarios and scenes like that, like telling people stories like, hey, like, this is how this happened with a grown man. Or like stuff like that, or like, you know, Kat like doing it with the 20 something year old at the carnival. Like, what? Like, seriously? And they just like making it seem like it's just casual. Like, she tells Kat, like, I know I'm jumping like back and forth, but she tells the man that she's literally like 16 years old, and he's just like, okay, like, not one care in the world, not one care. Like, he just, okay. I kind of don't like Maddie as a character, and I know that she's like a fan favorite, and she's like, you know, the baddie, like the like this, you know, the sassy, like, popular high schooler who doesn't care, like, who's unapologetically herself, like, you know, like, it's like feisty, da da da, whatever. But I think that she's so, you know, rude and obnoxious, and like she's just so well, I think that scene where the girls are all at the table, and Cassie like confesses that, you know, she's with child. I think when what Kat said to I think what Kat said to Cassie was wrong, but you know, did she lie? I don't, you know, not really. Shouldn't have said that though. But when Maddie was like, you know, like stop being a C word, da 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 da, and then like Kat like told her off and everything. Kat was right, because it was just like all about, you know, like what was going on with her, and obviously like Maddie's been through a lot, but like she didn't really care about like Kat specifically, in my opinion. She didn't really ask about like her, like, how's your day going, did you eat today, like so like when Kat like is not her meal anymore, and she's like, you know, she's like coming for her, like, oh my god, like I miss the old Kat, like that did what I say and was like, you know, was like on my beck and call basically. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really favor Maddie as a character. Like, you know, she's yeah. You know, I do wish her the best though for next season, of course. You know, like obviously like Maddie's been through a lot, you know, with Nate and like everything with that, but I'm just, and like that whole, you know, scene where she passed out, and then because she was in a hoodie and it was hot, and then like she got taken to the station, she was trying to protect Nate. That was like really hard to see too. You know, so I do feel for her as like everything she went through with, you know, Nate. I personally just don't like her attitude, and like, you know, she's just kind of self-serving sometimes, and she kind of like just thinks about herself, and I don't know. It's just a lot, like with her, like the way she treats her friends sometimes. It's just, I just feel like, you know, she needs to take a step back, and like I just hope that next season like we can have a little bit of character growth for her. But I do like Maddie's you know, Maddie's like makeup I think is really cute. I think that like, I just feel like her outfits for a 16-year-old character are just like, you know, but I think that like on her prom night was cute, like it was adorable, like her dress was nice, one of the best dresses of the night. Yeah. Other than that, you know, I hope next season like Maddie is doing better. You know, like I need her to just leave Nate, like please. You know, I mean we all want that. You know, she also had like that thing with Nate and him having like all those pictures on his phone, and her trying to make a conversation with him, and he puts like his hands on her again, and yeah. Yeah. Okay. So next episode we have McKay. And I'm probably gonna lump this up with Cassie also, because yeah, their storylines are kind of cross a little, like a lot. Yeah, so I don't like McKay. Like I don't. He's just so. I just feel like people like him are just so, you know, they have no backbone. Like when Nate, when, you know, Nate and him are driving in the first episode, I think it was the first episode, and you know, they basically run off Jules, you know, and like just her, like Nate's harassing her and everything. It's just like, he was just like, oh, like don't do that. And this is like, you know, I just don't like his the way he treats Cassie. Obviously, like one day he's just like, oh, you know, you're perfect, you're gorgeous, and the next day he's like, why do you dress like a, and it's like pick one, you know, like he's like those types of guys are just so like annoying, because like it's just annoying to deal with them, because it's like you don't know like you don't know if they're toxic or not when you first meet them, you know what I mean? Like they kind of draw you in, and then as you get to know them, oh, stop dressing like this, stop being like this, you know, the guys would say this, like he basically, like at the carnival, he told Nate's like, oh, are you and Cassie like together? He's like, no. Oh, Cassie beloved, you deserve you deserve so much better. That was ridiculous. Like he was like, no, I don't know. Like I don't know, like who's Cassie? I was like, wow, okay. Oh man. McKay is like trying to pledge for this frat, and you know, the most horrifying scene. I didn't see the thing with this scene. I did not expect the scene at all. Like it just came out of nowhere, and I was like, wait, did that just happen? You know, yeah, you know, and then after he was in the bathroom and he was like, oh, she's like, Cassie's like, and it's like right in front of Cassie, this happened. Cassie's like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, why do you have your shirt on? Like, da da da. And then, you know, all of this, like, it was just bad. Like, and then, you know, you see the scene happen and Cassie's disturbed, and it's just bad. And then, you know, like, this all goes back to his father, like, you know, his whole, like, personality. His father, like, basically told him to, like, suppress his emotions, his anger, and, like, it's just, and then it's just a recipe for disaster throughout like his whole storyline. Everything was just went wrong with him. So now we have Cassie. I like her a lot. I think she's so like, she's so pretty. You know, she's kind of like has like that girl next door type thing, kind of with her sister also. You know, I like her wardrobe too. Like I like how she dresses. I like her outfits are cute. You know, and I like they showed her whole childhood too in her episode. I think that the little girl who played her when she was younger looked just like her. I was like, wow, like they really found a girl that looked just like her. That was so shocking to see. That literally could have been her sister. Like that was cool. But yeah, it just showed like her whole family dynamic. Her dad got into a car crash. She got addicted to drugs. Like her father, you know, broke her heart, basically, and then that kind of like connects with how she like deals with relationships with guys, and yeah, like, you know, again, I'm like, she's one character like I really want her to like do better. I want to root for her. Her, you know, her whole storyline was really sad too. Yeah, so, you know, towards the end of the series or so, like she just randomly gets pregnant out of nowhere. McKay's like, like I think like like he's only one choice. It's like it's one obvious choice. She has the procedure done. She's hurt by it, you know. And we kind of see how that's affected her. That was also hard to see. You know, we kind of see also how like she like messes with that guy a lot. I forgot his name. The one who dressed up as Ted Bundy. He's irrelevant anyway, but yeah, he's disgusting, obviously. Yeah, like, you know, like she's like all, you know, she's all up on him, and then he like basically like just curses her out in that room. You know, she's like, oh, I don't want to do this, and I need to get off this, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my god, like just trying to coerce her into like, you know. And of course his little ego is broken, right? Curses her out, you know, just brings her down. Yeah, like that. Like he really thought he ate in that speech too. But yeah, you know, Cassie goes home crying, and it was bad. Lexi, I like her the most because she's like the only normal teenager in that show. Like she actually like, I don't know how to explain it, but like she's just not all over the place. Like she's just chill. Like she just goes with the flow. Like Lexi asked Cassie for advice, and she's just like, oh, you're just shy, and I'm like, I mean, you know, I don't see Lexi as shy. She's just be chilling, you know. And she kind of reminds me of me in high school. Like, I wasn't really like, I never was a drinker. Obviously, like, I've never done anything at all. So, like, you know, the way, I don't know. I think, you know, Lexi doesn't seem to be like that. So, and she's kind of like the girl that like listens to like all her friends' problems and kind of gives advice. Yeah, and like kind of reminded me of me. Like I wasn't really like into all that. I kind of stayed out of like drama and stuff like that. So, not to say that like a lot of their situations like is in their control, but you know what I mean. Like I kind of see myself in Lexi. The problem that I have with the show is the nudity of characters that are 16 and 17 years old. And I know that all the characters are of age, but still, it just makes me like uncomfortable and just uneasy. Like the fact that like you constantly like hear their age throughout the show. And like I'm 16, I'm 17, like minor, and then you're just constantly seeing them like in these like very crazy situations with intercourse, and you're just seeing like all of it played out like full blown like nudities, and I find that the idea of that disturbing, and it doesn't make me feel like it just I don't like it. And it's just like I feel like a lot of it is like done for shock value. For example, like when like in that carnival scene when Cassie like took the Molly, and then like she's on the carousel, you know the scene. Like, why did they have to film that? Like, just knowing that she's a minor character, and they showed that whole like scene. Like, really? Like, really? You didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to film that. But you did it anyway. You did it anyway. And I'm talking about like the production team, whatever. You didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to do all that. But you did. And like, Yeah, and the way they like treated Kat's like whole storyline of her her like, you know, trying to be like this empower, like coming into like her own with, you know, dealing with her, like dealing with like camming and her sexuality, and it was just like like, and I just found that like the fact that she's 16, and they literally said, okay, like we're gonna like write the storyline, we're gonna have a 16-year-old cam in front of grown men. Like, what? And it's just like and then it's, you know, they just made it seem like she's like winning, and like, yeah, like I, you know, like I said before, like I'm a boss, like like no, that's disgusting, that's weird, no. And then it's just and it's just like those creepy, like, you know, talking points, narrations, you know, again with Maddie and Nate, like are you like fully like have your V card, and it's just weird, and I just don't like it. I just don't like the feel of it, you know. I don't like it. You know, Nate's dad just being just a sick, disgusting, dirty, and then like actually seeing him like do all that with Jules, who is a minor. Why? Yeah, everything about that. And then you have like Nate, like the blackmail, and Nate's also an evil genius, because he like used Tyler to like corroborate that whole plan for his own benefit, so he wouldn't press charges for the assault. So Tyler obviously would take it, so because like all that like that. Wow. Okay, that was crazy. Okay, so, you know, I will talk about some positive things about the show. I think that, you know, everybody talks about this, the cinematography, the colors, how things were shot, the editing was really, really, really beautiful. Like I really love, like, you know, purples and blues, like I love those colors. So just seeing that, you know, like with, you know, the lights, and just seeing, you know, that play out like throughout the show was really nice. The soundtrack, 8, you know, Labyrinth, I think that's how you pronounce his name, sorry. 8, with, of course, Still Don't Know My Name, I know it from TikTok. I Never Felt So Alone. 8, All of Us, pretty good song. 8, the wardrobe, the styling, the makeup, I love it. You know, the aesthetic is pleasing to the eye. Like I can see like that side of like liking the show. But other than that, the rest of the show, I don't like it. Like, as in, like, I don't like how I just don't like the fact that they're minor characters just doing all these things. And it's like, just please comment your thoughts. Like I just feel like, you know, there were so many things that were happening in high school for me. And I think you can agree, when you were in high school, or you're in high school right now, like you can agree, like there's more to like the parties, the drugs, the all that intercourse scenes, and there's more to that. Like they didn't show anything else really, but like all of that and dealing with that, and like like what happened to the other side of high school? Like they're just like, okay, yeah, like this happens every day type of thing. And then I didn't, you know, I just felt like they just wanted to like the writers wanted to just like be like, okay, this is raw, this is real, like this happens, like this is what teenagers go through, okay? And it's like do they, like, all the time? I mean, obviously, like some teenagers go through this like every day, like I understand that, but like every episode, okay. You know, again, I graduated, like, it's about to be 10 years since I started. It's been 10 years since I started my freshman year of high school. Like, that was 10 years ago. You know, I don't know how teenagers are now. Like, I have no idea. But please confirm or deny. I don't know. I just feel like I just feel like the writers really, like, in some scenarios, they really thought they ate with the Senate, with like some storylines. Like, you didn't have to write that, you didn't have to film that. A lot of it was extremely disturbing. And yeah, that's my review on Euphoria. So I, like, I didn't know that this was gonna happen, but season 2 is literally coming out tomorrow as I film this. I will watch it to see what happens. I'll probably do another part 2 to this. Just, yeah. You know, I rambled on too long. But yeah. Obviously for next season, I need, obviously, like, Nate's dad in jail, like, he needs to go. I did forget to talk about Jules and Rue. So I really do like Jules and Rue's friendship. I thought that it was really cute, and they like used it as a metaphor for Rue and like her addiction tactics, her addiction and everything, and like, Jules is the reason why she's getting better. And I thought, and I think the way that like their whole relationship was shot was really beautiful. Like, it was just so I think it was like beautifully done, like that specifically. The relationship is toxic. We know that, but I think the aesthetic of it was really nice. Like the way it was shot, it was really nice. And I think that like their whole dynamic and how they're there for each other and everything, it was, aside from like the awkwardness, because Rose obviously in love with her, and vice versa towards the end. But like, I just thought that it was really nice the way that was shot. I think that was like one of my favorite parts about the show. Lastly, because it was really nice, like the way that was shot. Like, I really liked like seeing like those like little montages of them, like, spending time together with the colors and everything. Your thoughts. What do you expect for season 2? Your thoughts on season 1. What do you think about like the whole point of Euphoria and what it portrayed, and how they portrayed teenagers and what they do? And just let me know, please. Like, I just need to know. I need confirmation, because I just, this was really not it for me. Like, a lot of it was not it for me. It wasn't. Like, of course, they showed a lot of like problems that teenagers do go through, but I just feel like a lot of the scenes just so unnecessary. It was too much, in my opinion. And the nudity, it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, comment. So thank you so much if you made it this far. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I will also be kicking off my series soon about music commentary, and also about entertainment commentary. So this is low-key like my first video of the series, so be sure to subscribe to look out for that and to stay updated with me. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and stay connected with me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.